As I was driving down the road, this huge, ginormous extension ladder was laying in the middle of the road. Everybody was swerving to miss it, and I stopped and picked it up. And after I stopped and picked it up, I was going to just lay it by the side of the road, and I said, no, let me yeah. So these are some of the issues that get involved when I'm on my way to a job, and something that happens that was totally unplanned that precludes me from being at the job. Welcome back to my project. If you are new here, I appreciate your presence, and thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel. I think yesterday's video, I said, it was Wednesday yesterday, and I said that I'm going to hit 30,000 because I think I had 29,940 or something like that, so I needed 60 subscribers, and I just figured a couple days I'd have 60 subscribers. Well, overnight I had my 60, so now I have my 30,011. So thank you to each and every one of you, especially the new subscribers to my channel. Hopefully you've gone through my channel before you subscribe. You've gone through my channel and you found out that I'm kind of a maverick, that I kind of do things my own way, and kind of my work dictates to me how things are done rather than vice versa. I'm not dictated by blind mentality, blind just because somebody says to do things a certain way that they should be done. When I go, if you watch any of my videos, when I go through a process of doing things, I always explain why I do them, and things that I don't do, I explain also why I don't do those things. And I give a very rational, very succinct, very in-depth explanation, sometimes too much, so I talk too much, but I want you to understand why I do things I do, and why some of the things that you've been told by other tilers out there is garbage. Literally, it's garbage. There is another YouTuber out there who will constantly tell you, if you don't do things this way, if you don't do things that way, if you don't use this product, if you don't, but he doesn't show what happens if you don't. When I first started my channel, I'm showing the damages that can be done. I'm showing why they occurred. I'm showing you in depth a dissection of showers and what's happened. And then I mitigate all those issues when I do the build back. If you've watched my channel any amount of time, you know that I have a video called The 100-Year Shower. I think I did that about 4 or 5 years ago. And then you can go to Google or go to YouTube search box and just type in 100-Year Shower. It's the only one out there. That shower was built 35 years ago. I think it's in 1985 or 86. And builder's grade tile, non-sanded grout, directly on sheetrock with mastic instead of thin set. They put the sheetrock inside of the shower pan before they poured it. They didn't slope it. Everything was done wrong on that job, yet it lasted 35 years. We're not doing anything like that nowadays. Nothing even close to that. I can't remember the last time I used builder's grade tile with unsanded grout, and I would never put my wallboard, no matter what the makeup is, inside of my shower pan and then pour it, the mortar. That's just asking for mold and mildew to creep up. So anyway, getting back to today, this is day 4 of this project. I anticipate, this is Thursday, I anticipate this will last another 8 to 9 days. The build back process is probably the most important. The tile part is just basically for looks. The build matters. And I am about halfway through with the build process, as I've already done the plumbing, as I've already done the shower pan liner and poured the pan yesterday. Today I do the wallboard. Now getting back to what I first started talking about. My wallboard is green board. I like green board because it's chemically treated to resist mold and mildew, where no other wallboard out there has that ability. And I waterproof it with RedGuard. And it doesn't matter how you waterproof your shower. There's people that like Curtis Schluter method. There's people that like all that foam crap that they put on their walls, which I'm not a subscriber of. There is Aqua Defense, which is also a liquid topical membrane, same as RedGuard. And there's other ways to waterproof your shower. When I waterproof showers, it's not because I think I'm going to have a failure. When I waterproof the walls, it's not because I've gone on hundreds of jobs, which I have, not dozens, hundreds of jobs, and I've never had walls that were somehow compromised because they weren't waterproofed. It's never ever happened on a shower. On a tub, yes, because they're setting the wallboard on top of the edge of the tub instead of on top of the lip, and water weeps its way up through there through the years, and it gets weak. And yeah, so there are reasons for everything to happen or not happen, and the functionality of a shower is your tile and your grout, and it's a vertical surface, and water comes off of that and eventually evaporates pretty quickly. It's your floor that's Achilles' heel. So yes, I red guard the entire thing, I waterproof the entire thing, but in my humble opinion, I don't think the waterproofing is absolutely necessary. I think a lot of to-do is made of nothing. I think it's a mountain out of a molehill that people get focused on Kurti Schluter and Kurti board and this board and that board and these foam products that go on the walls. 100% unnecessary. Go back to my 100-year shower video and you will see what I'm talking about. That shower failed in a lot of different ways, and then yes, there was mold and mildew and all that stuff, but it failed because of other things that happened, not because they used necessarily sheetrock and builder's grade tile and unsanded grout. There's a lot of maintenance, home maintenance that was neglected. There's, as I said, the wallboard was set inside of the pan and allowed to wick up water and mold and mildew and yada yada yada. So there's a lot of different varying reasons why things happen or don't happen. But waterproofing walls is, in my opinion, as I said, totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. I do it because I can, because it doesn't take that much effort, and because it only costs 50 bucks for the gallon, and it's peace of mind for the homeowner. But all these other products that are out there that are making huge amounts of money, not only for the product manufacturer but also for the people pushing those products. So my point being is that I'm not getting paid by anybody. When you get my opinion on things, it's unfiltered and it is non-biased. And it is also from 20 years of experience of both doing showers and tearing them out and all that stuff. So, and I do tend to talk a lot. If you're a new subscriber, you're gonna have to get used to my diatribe. I do talk a lot because I want the homeowner, the person, the DIYer, the person that doesn't know any of this stuff, to know where I'm coming from. So when they go back in time, let's say they stumble on a video I did 2 years ago or 3 years ago where I talk about no pre-slope, that pre-slopes aren't necessary, that when they are brainwashed to believe that they're necessary because everybody's telling them the sky is falling, that you need this to happen, and then they see my video and they see a conflicting opinion, which I do a lot, and they see a conflicting opinion, at least I give an explanation and I literally show and I demonstrate why I don't believe pre-slopes do what their intended purpose is, and so I'm not going to get into that, but understand on my channel I go through explanations and also visuals to show you dissections of things and why things failed, and so that's me. And if you like it, then great, and I'm glad you hit that subscribe button, and if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. It's irrelevant to me in the end. I'm not getting paid off of YouTube, so yeah. Anyway, so today, as I stated earlier before I so rudely interrupted myself, I am using green board on the walls. I'm going to mud the walls. I'm going to eventually probably patch in that little area where the vanity's at, where I did the plumbing a couple days ago. And that's about it. I'm relegated to about maybe 4 hours tops today, because there's dry time involved. Tomorrow will be the waterproofing red guard thing. Tomorrow's Friday. Saturday I'll probably be setting the shower floor tile, and then possibly working into Sunday also start running the wall tile up. That's the process. That's what I plan on. This is day 4, and I hope you've enjoyed the series so far, and stick around for the end result. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Okay, it is the next day and the shower pan is relatively dry. Putting the fan on it for 24 hours as I showed you yesterday speeds along the process. It's probably about 4 gallons, maybe 4.5 gallons of water throughout this whole thing. So eliminating as much of the moisture as you possibly can before you encapsulate it with the red guard is paramount to having a proper shower pan. Another thing too, the next day, if you run a straight edge across the top of the shower pan, it's hard for me to show. If you run a straight edge, you'll see little high spots, little one there where my level was yesterday, not a big deal. But running it across, you're going to notice any high spots. There's a very slight one right there. And you just simply scrape that off. Going on this side, you just run your level straight across, or any straight edge actually. Is there one there? No. So there's one right there. Very minuscule, but so any high spots that you have, you can get a 9-inch blade and just kind of scrape that off. You're trying to get it as perfect as you can day one. But if you don't get it perfect, don't worry. You can do a little scraping off of the high spots. The low spots should be minuscule at best, and those aren't a big deal because, again, you're putting thin set, troweling out your thin set and putting the tile down, so that'll take care of the low spots. But again, the low spots shouldn't be profound. You shouldn't have a bunch of dips. You know, when you set the shower, when you pour the shower pan and you screed it out and everything, you're making sure that it's as perfect as possible. So stay away from the low spots. I've had calls and emails before with DIYers. You know, I have a big dip, a big low spot or something. Can I put more mortar mix? No, it won't. It won't stick to what's there already. So the best advice I give you if you have a real profound dip is to vacuum out really well, and then put some thin set. Again, with a straight edge going across that dip that you have. The thin set will stick better to this mortar than coming back again with mortar. So that answers that question. The high spots, again, should be minuscule at best. I haven't done any scraping on this yet. The scraping that I do is, again, very minimal. This is, again, the way that I prefer to do it. There are other ways, there are other methods, as long as you end up with the pitch, which I don't know if I showed you yesterday. I think I did show it yesterday. So yeah, you want your bubble to be way off. You want your floor to be flat as possible, but with also, you know, the slope. It should be 1/4 inch per foot. This is about 2.5 feet going across, and if I lifted that up, it would be from level, yeah, that's about, yeah, probably 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch of rise. And again, perfection is sought after, but if you need to manipulate a little bit, as I said before, you can do certain things, including having your thin set a little thicker on the back here. Not really thick, but when you trowel out your thin set, have it a little thicker in the back if your pitch isn't right, and then a little thinner as it gets down to the drain. Another thing too, I don't remember putting this out there yesterday. I don't put my mortar all the way up to the drain edge. So there's a reason for that. I like my tile to set slightly above. I already know my tile thickness, plus my thin set is going to be higher than the drain edge, and that's what I prefer. All my individual tile going around the drain will get a slight taper. Every single one of them will get a slight taper. So at the end, there's a positive water flow into the drain rather than having the tile set flush up to the drain. Again, my thing, you can do it any way you want, but that's the way I prefer it. I'm always looking at evacuating water. Water is an enemy with respect to all of this stuff. So without further ado, everything was done yesterday, as you saw, or maybe you didn't see. All the plumbing got done, valves got put in, yada yada yada. So I'm gonna go forward with putting the wallboard up. As I said earlier, I use green board, and yeah, this is probably about 2.5 hours or so of putting green board up and doing all the mudding. And then at that point, I've got time to kill, and I might go ahead and fill that in and do some other sheetrock repair to kind of fill out my day. But then tomorrow will be a little busier, because then I can actually do the red guarding process, and looking forward to that. Moving along, day 4. So you saw where I had my niche cut out before, and now I have my wallboard cut out around it, and now I have my back piece. People have asked me before, how do you attach that? And sometimes it's an exterior wall and they're freaked out about, you have one layer of siding or whatever is back there. Usually it's an insulation piece. I do it the same way. I don't screw in. I use some caulking. You could basically use whatever you want to, as long as it sticks to the back. And then your pieces that go on the inside are going to push it in. You're going to, well, anyway, I don't want to go on too long, but that's the way that you get that done. And the wallboard is complete. Everything is up. this is ready to be mudded, and then I'm going to do, so I do cement board, I do Durarock on the curb. So the side will get Durarock, the inside will get Durarock about that far from the pan. I don't touch the wallboard to the pan, nor do I do it over here. As you see, and as I've already told you, I come up off my pan. My floor tile will slide under that gap. There'll still be a small remaining gap, and then the wall tile will overlap that. That goes along with my board inside of here that will not touch the pan. Then my top piece will go on. That will get mudded also. And then tomorrow the whole thing will get red guarded. This is what I was trying to tell you earlier, those inside pieces push up against that one piece that you're putting in the back of there with the caulking, holds it in, and it'll dry out and everything. Oh, by the way, your niches don't get as much water as you think they do. I have a niche I built for myself about 4 years ago when I built my shower, and it's not the hurricane that everybody scares you about. Yes, I do still put 3 coats of red guard on inside of there, but all these extra fancy rubber pieces that you're put, there's overkill to the max a lot of times. These are the mud guards I was telling you the other day about, and this is the reason you're putting them there, because your wall board is going to go up to there. This is the distance about the tile and the thin set that I'm going to be using. If it comes out slightly further than that, it's not a big deal, but that's the reason you have the mud guards, and leave them there until you're finished with the job. So I'm going to get started wrapping my curb, and then I will mud everything, and then I'll just have to do other stuff to kill time. Alright, I have buttered the curb. When I mean buttering the curb, I mean I put thin set. I wrap the whole thing with a layer of thin set. And that does a couple of things for me. It makes sure that all my screws that I set inside of the wallboard, which is Durarock, actually it's a combination of Durarock and Wonderboard, because I had both. So it makes sure that all screw heads are sealed. It makes sure that there is a contiguous thing going on rather than the seams where the cap comes on top and all this stuff. But it also makes it easier to waterproof the thing since everything is continuous. So all the walls have been mudded, and the curb has been mudded, and tomorrow will be the process of red guarding the entire thing. So I'm going to speak on something I mentioned yesterday, the dam corners, which you can Google what a dam corner is, but it's basically a piece of rubber that goes around the curb, should be called curb corner, and then it kind of sticks up to the wall. There is some thought that went into that, because usually when I see damage when I take out a shower, it's usually at the end of the curbs, but there's a lot of reasons why that happened. And none of it has to do with the fact that they didn't use the dam corner. None of it. The construction method that they used and putting it together, not waterproofing and all that stuff, led to a solution that really didn't have a problem. The problem was operator malfunction. I'm going to show you tomorrow when I start to red guard. I want you to explain to me how exactly water from my red guarded shower pan and my walls and my curb that's off of the floor, how water is ever going to jump over to the curb and cause any damage? It cannot. It's impossible. So that's the reason that that's the reason the dam corners don't work for me. Another question I get, when you do your pan, my lighting is horrible, sorry. When you do your pan, you have this excess fold of your pan liner, and how do you fill that in? And so what I normally do, I think I've mentioned this in another video before, but it's worth mentioning. I take a piece of Durarock, just a little piece that I got off the sheet, and I push it in there as far as I can, inside and down. In fact, I'm going to put a couple of pieces in there and just fill that in. If you had a flathead chisel or something better than a finger, would sure help. Take off a little bit of that. Anyway, the whole point is you're pushing that pan liner fold, as it were, as far against the wall as you possibly can. You won't get it perfect because, again, there's a fold there. But getting it pushed up against the wall, there we go.
getting pushed up against the wall leaves you a gap that can now be filled with some excess thin set that you're going to have. So it's the same over here. This is all four sides are going to get this little extra little piece of dirt rock you're just going to shove in there. And you're going to create a void by shoving that in there, and then that void is going to get filled with thin set. Sorry I'm boring you with all of this still prep stuff. It's kind of rare that I'm able to do video of me actually working. I try and stay away from doing that because it's too difficult for me to manage the camera on my own, and I don't want to get a tripod and set it up and do all this work that some people on YouTube do on a continuous basis because they're used to it, I guess. So that's not me. I'm not showing. I'm usually telling rather than showing. And there are other people on YouTube who do a lot of showing of their work. And one of them, you might want to go check out his channel, is I'll think about it in a minute. Okay. Man, this one's really hard to get in there. There we go. Anyway, as I was saying before, so rudely interrupted myself again. DIY Dad TV. No, that's not it. Hold on. So his name is Handy Dad TV. He has a really good channel where he does obviously home repair stuff, but mainly for himself. He's not a contractor, but he is more on point than a lot of contractors that I've run into. So Handy Dad TV, go check out his channel on YouTube. I think you'll enjoy the content. And here's some irony. Today he posts a video of a bathroom renovation that he started a while back, and he's posting a series, if you will, kind of like this, I suppose, but a little more strung out. So he's going through all the steps that he's taking to do his own shower in his own bathroom, and he took some verbal coaching from yours truly. And today's video that he posted is exactly what I'm doing now. Today's video, the Handy Dad TV, he is setting his curb, buttering it, as I just did, and then red guarding the whole thing. And so it's kind of ironic that he posts that today, and here I am at a job doing the same thing he was doing. Anyway, he has good content. I'm going to wrap things up because I'm babbling here. There's little depressions from my level, so get rid of those. That's kind of the danger with pressing your level into your mortar bed. I didn't mean to, but inevitably, obviously I did. Again, this isn't really necessary. What you're watching me do is fill in those depressions. That's not like really a big deal. But I have excess thin set already mixed up, and I feel like I should be using it rather than throwing it away. So this is just part of my day. This is what I do. Kind of behind the scenes type of stuff that you're unaware of. Mostly you're unaware of, unless you come around. What are you doing today? So I don't mean to bore you. If I am, you can click off any time. I'm just gonna. Oh, by the way, yesterday I posted a video. I told you I'm not editing any of these videos at all. So if I happen to cough, sometimes I edit those out and spend some time on it on a weekly basis. When I post a video by the end of the week, it's a lot more succinct. Yesterday's video was not. And what I realized after I uploaded it to YouTube, that inadvertently I had not put all the little video clips in the right chronological order, which normally I do. And there's one clip at the very end that should have been about 5 minutes into the video. There's a way that I taped it, but it didn't upload that way when I uploaded it onto my computer. So my apologies for that, and disregard that end part. That end part should have been toward the beginning part. As some of you might be aware, but if you're not, that's why you're seeing the shower valve after I've already installed it. A little bit embarrassing to have to post something like that when it looks kind of like half-assed done. So just to let you know what I'm doing here, as I said, I don't want to waste my thin set, so I'm using it on some of the depressions and stuff. I don't have a depression at the drain, but what I found over time when I started waterproofing my pan surface, yes, the Red Guard sticks to this mortar fairly well, but it sticks to thin set even better. And because this is the tightest space I have to put my Red Guard in, I've made it a habit of putting thin set, pushing it down into the mortar, all around and up under the shower drain, so that when I do my Red Guard tomorrow, that I don't have to struggle with making sure that the Red Guard absorbs into the mortar, because it's absorbing onto this thin set a whole lot easier. And so that's another little tiny tip that I don't know is worthwhile for you to know, but I'm putting it out there anyway. So I'm gonna do my cleanup. Not much more I can do today. I guess I've been here 4 hours. Yeah, about 4 hours. As I said when I started doing the video, I was a little limited on what I can do today. So about 4 hours later, this is what I accomplished. Like I say with every video, it feels like I could be doing more, but honestly, this is everything leading up to the tile has been. We're on day 4 now. Day 5 will be tomorrow. Day 6 will be Saturday. Saturday and or Sunday, I'll probably start doing the tiling part. I still have to put Durarock on the floor and patch a couple of sheetrock things, issues and stuff like that. So that I've been put some lights up there and a fan. A new fan goes up there. So there's other things that, yes, I can still be doing, which is why I'm glad I have so much to do here, because putting the Red Guard on begets a couple of hour and a half of waiting before the second coat goes on, and then that gives me time to do all these other things. And then another coat goes on, and then I have another hour and a half for that to dry, and then I could be doing other stuff. So it'll be kind of a full day tomorrow, but just like today, it will feel, to me anyway, like I'm not accomplished a lot, although I have. I don't know what else I can tell you. There's a couple of things on that channel that I was telling you about that when you watch how he did the curb, because I didn't show you how I did it, you can watch his video and you can watch how he buttered it and all that stuff, since I'm not showing you, but there's a couple of things that he alluded to on the video which actually he's taking from me verbatim. I don't believe in the tape in the corners. Tape, if you're familiar with sheetrock at all, tape, can't see it here, but tape is a crack prevention method. So when you have two pieces of sheetrock come together, you embed the tape in there so that later on that transition between the two pieces of sheetrock, you don't end up with a crack, because buildings move, they're constantly settling and incrementally moving a lot, so you don't end up with a crack between the seams. RedGuard is a crack prevention membrane. It is liquid rubber. And so when you put liquid rubber between where the transitions of the wallboard are, no matter what wallboard you use, when you put liquid rubber there, a couple coats, 3 coats in the corner, liquid rubber, yeah, it's a lot more pliable than tape would ever be. And that's why I don't do the tape, just in case you were wondering. So Handy Dad TV is where you want to go and subscribe to him. He's got some good content. He actually has over 100,000 subscribers. I envy him. I would love to have 100,000, but I got 30,000 today, so I'm not complaining. Anyway, I am going to clean up and get out of here. Sorry for boring you to death this last, how long? Almost 10 minutes? Holy moly. Sorry about that, guys. I'll peace out. Bye.